Hello Pisces, welcome to Lotus Heart Tarot. I'm so happy to have you here. We are going to dive right into your reading. I do like to begin my readings by thanking those of you who have been here for a while, who like, who share, who participate with the channel, who have subscribed. I do deeply appreciate you guys. I do feel like we are on this journey together, and I really appreciate the support that you guys give and bring to the table every day. If you're new to the channel, welcome, welcome. I am super happy to have you here. Today, we're going to take a look at Valentine's Day, how the energy of Valentine's Day may be breaking things loose or changing things, affecting things when it comes to Pisces and love. So let's dive in, shall we? Keep in mind, this is a general reading. And so take what resonates and leave the rest, all right? Here we go. For Pisces, please, Spirit, what does Pisces need to know? All right, Pisces. I feel, Pisces, this energy around you where you really are closing a cycle here of, dealing with people who are emotionally unavailable and who it's like, can really melt your ice cream for a moment, but then, it's like they leave you with a mess. I don't know. But yeah, and I feel as though there is some kind of partnership. You have 222 on this phone image here. So I feel there is some kind of partnership where either someone was emotionally unavailable to you. This could be where you may have been like with this person and you may be in separation from this person, or this can be something where someone's just not opening up to give you everything that you feel you need or want in a partnership. And so I feel like you're trying to look at other things. I feel like you're putting your focus toward the things that bring you joy, which sort of naturally means that you're pulling your attention sort of away from this energy. I feel like they're feeling this and they're going to be reaching out to you. I also, just with this card, it's not even necessarily texting. It's like communicating. Like someone may be like, okay, I'm going to make the decision to try to open up more. I'm going to make the decision to try to show up better, or to like create a space that invites you to, show me that emotional side of you. Because I feel they want it. Wow, you guys keep getting this energy of soulmate recognition. If you don't have someone in your life right now, Pisces, I feel that you have something coming for sure. You may even meet them on Valentine's Day for some of you. It feels actually like Valentine's Day may be a significant day for both of you, or moving forward. It's interesting. I was just thinking how Valentine's Day is like, what we call like a Hallmark holiday or an invented holiday, right? But I've always loved Valentine's Day. It was the birthday of my father-in-law, and I just love a celebration of love, and I just love red and pink hearts everywhere. Like, I don't know. I'm into it. And how when I met my husband, Valentine's Day took on a different meaning, because my father-in-law's birthday was Valentine's Day, and he's gone now, but we always remember him on his birthday, and he had a twin who we still celebrate. So there's, that kind of, I don't know, it feels like this is happening for you, maybe not in that exact same way, but like in some way, for some of you, this may be your last single Valentine's Day. For others of you, it's like you may meet this person on Valentine's Day. For others of you, there may be like a real opening up that occurs around Valentine's Day. But it's kind of like, it's like, it makes the day, I don't want to say like worth remembering, or, you know what I mean? But it brings a different significance to it, other than the fact that I think it's like a Hallmark holiday. Okay, take that as it resonates. That may not be for everyone, but I do feel like it's for some of you. I feel for some of you there is a conversation that happens where it's like you realize that you do want the same things, that you know, and that you are sort of even sharing a vision, maybe without really realizing it. You're sort of seeing each other in your life in the same way moving forward. It doesn't even feel, oh my God, this card literally, wait, let me read this card. I gotta put glasses on. Hold on. Oh my God, and my closest glasses are pink. Okay. Wait, this card. Okay. Your dreams and aspirations are aligned with your partners. Together, you can achieve great things by supporting each other's goals and working toward a shared future. Yeah. Okay. That's exactly what I feel. There's some kind of conversation where it's like, it's almost like you almost realize that you have been aligning yourself with the same path for some time. Like, it's almost as if, and it, oh wow, that was so powerful. Okay, what I saw was like two paths, like, and a horizon line, and the sun at the horizon line. And it's like these two paths were like always merging. They were always coming together. And it's like here where you realize that, here where you recognize that, here where you realize that your point on the horizon is the same as their point on the horizon. And that it feels that there's like, that it almost feels as if it's like revealed through this conversation to both of you, whether it's said out loud or not, that this is like destiny, that you were always going to come together, that you would have always met on the path because what you've aligned with is the same. Wow. I've just never seen something like that, and it just feels so profound. It's even like I'm seeing this heart, and I'm seeing it the same way, like upside down, like these two paths come into one. Like, it's just like I can't stop seeing this now. And maybe that's kind of what happens to you, is that your vision really truly joins with this person's vision and becomes like one vision here around this time. I'm even getting the significance of these 2 like becoming one, or like even moving into 3, like you, them, and the connection moving forward, or the road or the path. I'm also getting this energy around soulmate and eternal. You know, a soulmate, I don't like to tell people how to view or how to define words. I think, you know, we all, because also words, defining words is like using labels to define a label. It gets more and more convoluted. But what is striking me here is that if you believe that the soul goes on forever, and that, you know, we have like a soul family, or we have soul mates, and in the world in between our last life and our next life, we make these decisions of what our soul is yearning to learn through this experience that has upcoming. There is an eternity to that. It has never ceased to exist, and it will never cease to exist about this. And so it's kind of giving me this feeling of, you know, I have loved you eternally. Like, I'm just recognizing it now. And like, I literally know that sounds really like traumatic and like intense, and maybe for that reason, for its polarity or its extremism, it may be hard to wrap your head around or to accept as truth or, you know, something that has merit. You know, I usually get kind of turned off by things that are on the extreme or that are polarized, and they typically create more division than something coming together. However, this almost feels as though, like, at first, the connection itself, what was actually experienced, was so intense that it did cause that polarity to occur. It did cause, like, a little bit of, no, I refuse to acknowledge this, or I refuse to admit this, or that can't be true, or that can't be right, because it's so intense. I don't know how to describe what I'm saying, but hopefully, like, from what I'm saying to you right there, like, if you were feeling that way or something, like, you could recognize it in what I just said. But once we move beyond that place, which is really our human mind interpreting it, or saying what's allowed and what's not allowed based on our fear. And oh my gosh, you guys, wait. Oh my gosh. I remember the other day, I don't know if you watched the video the other day, and I'm sorry, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before or what day. But there is this energy. I literally saw an Instagram post this morning that was the exact energy that I was talking about. And it's coming up again right here. Okay. And so it was like you get in your head, but then you relax. You're able to relax. Okay. Listen to this post that was posted. Okay, like 16 hours ago. So like well after I did my video. This is the energy more better defined. Okay. And this is on, okay, the Instagram account is KRISTINALICARE, Kristen Alley Care, maybe. Okay, and it says, you're not afraid of intimacy. You're afraid of bearing your soul to someone and feeling rejected. You're not afraid of failure. You're afraid of pouring your heart into something and feeling disappointed. You're not afraid to trust the flow of life. You're afraid to let your guard down and feel vulnerable or unprotected. But what if, instead of trying to keep yourself from feeling these things, you choose to feel them willingly, to see them as an opportunity, to see them as opportunities to help you open up and become more free? This is where the relax part happens. My guess is that you'd realize you're stronger than you think, and that feeling what you once feared is the path to peace. Like, literally, this is that exact energy. Okay, so anyway, I hope that that is in some way helpful to saying that. But that's love's abundance. That let me just tell you again, because I don't know, it just, when I read that, I almost died. I was like, wait, how in the world is this right now? Like, that's how energy works though. I'm not tapping into an energy that's different than this person. I'm not tapping into an energy, you know what I mean? Like, we're all in a collective. Okay, my guess is that you'd realize you're stronger than you think, and that feeling what you once feared is the path to peace. Peace is abundance. Peace is our natural state. That's how we're born. That's how we come into the world, at a natural state of peace. And we spend kind of the rest of our lives trying to work back towards that. And when we are able to sort of harmonize the energy between our soul and our human self, that's when we can achieve that kind of inner peace that is really unshakable. You know, I've called it unfuckwithable on this channel. And I know, you know, I just feel like there are probably more Pisces able to achieve that in this world than any other sign. Unfortunately, a lot of times due to suffering. Oh gosh, wow, you have someone coming in. Oh my gosh, you made this person really question a lot about themselves. Okay. See, Pisces, I told you. There's something here about how this person, it's like they weren't giving you all they had to give, and you knew it. And you also knew that you'd done that before, and that you weren't willing to experience that again, or you weren't willing to just sort of accept what they were giving and sort of accommodate it and compensate for it, and then end up more hurt in the end, end up with a mess again in the end. You know, you were going to preserve something, have a boundary. And it's like that, when you do a boundary with the right person, they're going to respond in a positive way. They're going to respond in a way that shows that they respect the boundary. When you put up a boundary with someone who's toxic, they're going to respond in a way that shows you they don't respect the boundary. And that is just the easiest way to tell if someone is going, if you can have a harmonious relationship, a healthy, harmonious relationship with someone, or if it's going to be toxic. And so, you know, I think that, you know, you may have even tried to have this conversation about like, what do you want, or where do you see this going, or whatever. And it's like this person, it's almost as if I feel like either it caught them off guard, or it may have brought to the light what they were telling themselves. And maybe when they heard it come from their mouth, or when they were looking at you and telling it to you, see how there's these glasses here? It's like they hadn't really looked at it before. They kind of shielded themselves from seeing what they were actually telling themselves. But when they brought it to the light and they presented it to you, it's like they couldn't, they had to sort of recognize the cognitive dissonance in it, you know, like, wait a minute, I want to spend all this time with Pisces. I want to be around Pisces a lot. Or, you know, I fantasize about spending the rest of my life with Pisces. And I'm sitting here saying, well, let's just see where it goes. Well, let's not rush into anything, or, you know, whatever they said. And really, honestly, I think, you know, relationships are windows. They are gateways to show us things about ourselves. And I think in saying that, it may have even exposed to this person like the misalignment within themselves. And it says, I don't know who I am, so how can you? And it's kind of like, you know, Pisces have like spidey vision. They are very intuitive, and they can see someone's like highest and best self, I think, more easily than other signs. One of my best friends is a Pisces, and the thing that I love the most about him, I mean, I love everything about him, but the thing that I really admire and try to emulate about him is that he sees the beauty in everyone. He has friends that are like, he's like 32. I want to say maybe 33. But he's a millennial. He has friends that are like in their 90s. Like, he went through a stretch like last year or the year before where he lost a bunch of his, what we called his old lady friends. And he was just, he was wrecked over it. He was just absolutely wrecked. One of his friends was Iris Apfel. I don't know if you know who that is. She has a line of ruggable rugs, but she's like a fashion icon. Anyway, he just had these amazing he can have a relationship with anyone, because he just approaches it from this perspective of literally seeing the beauty, you know, in people. And I think it is a very intuitive thing. Our higher and best self is always seeking that in another person. And also, I think it's reflective of his own love for himself and his acceptance of all the parts of himself, and being able to see that in other people readily. He has amazing parents that absolutely, I mean, like, these parents love their kids, and they're excellent parents. But the thing is, it's like, I think sometimes you're able to see someone's highest and best self. You're able to see like the beauty in them when sometimes they can't see the beauty in you, which can really lead you to getting very hurt Because if someone's not ready to see the beauty in themselves, if someone's not ready to wake up to that, or isn't secure enough to like kind of face that, it can be that like sort of polarizing thing that like pushes them away. Which you would think it would be the opposite. You would think that they would be drawn to it, but we are so programmed and we are so broken and we've been so hurt that sometimes it's actually a reflection of all of those things. You know, depending on how we've dealt with shame and guilt in our life, you know, it can be a reflection of just all the shame that we're carrying, or all the guilt that we feel, or all the broken parts of us, or all the parts of us that we think are bad, you know, or are not worthy, or are, you know, destined to fail all the time. Do you know what I'm saying? And so I think you were dealing with someone who hadn't really fully realized themselves, but they were willing to, or they were open to it. Or you may have even come onto their path in a place that almost may have helped speed up the timeline for them a little bit, to where they were opening up to it, or where they were really feeling kind of solidly about themselves, or starting to. And it's like, so when you came in, it may not have been as polarizing as it would have been like a year ago or 6 months ago even. But it's like your paths weren't quite coming together naturally yet. You were still on separate paths, walking towards the same place kind of energy. But it's like you revealing this to them may have sort of caused them to flip out for a minute, or kind of turn their back. Or you have this card that says, I just want you to want me the way I want you, which feels extremely physical. And it's like, this feels like a masculine energy, if I'm being totally honest with you. Men love differently than women. And I think it does start as kind of a physical thing for men. I'm not a man, so I, you know, can't say from a place of experience, but the thing is that I feel like this person was really attracted to you, and they may have even tried to show off. I don't know if you can really see this. It's extremely dark, but there's like a cowboy on a horse at sunset here. And so it's like they may have like kind of whipped out their whole bag of tricks, like to impress you, or to kind of like try to get you to feel about them the way that they felt about you, sort of almost naturally. It's like, it is that like kind of peacocking around energy, or like, you know, like even trying to get your attention without maybe even being completely obvious. And it's like, it doesn't feel like you responded that way. And I think part of that may be that this is the masculine energy, and that the feminine energy, this is great. Like they're not turning their back on that. But it's like, I think they've been through so many experiences where people are emotionally unavailable, that what they're really looking for is someone that can meet their emotional needs, someone that's secure, someone that can show up and have feelings and not be freaked out and run away from them. And I think, so there's almost like you were on two different pages, or this was reflective of the timelines that you each were on. Even though you were moving toward the same place, you were arriving there from different places, kind of energy. And so it's like, I feel like this masculine is kind of like, when I think that you want me as bad as I want you, then I'll give you that. And the feminine is like, you think that the only way that you're going to get me to want you as bad as you want me is by showing up emotionally in a way that I can count on you and receive you and feel safe and secure and met by you and seen by you and heard by you, you know? So it's like apples and oranges kind of, but there is something here where it's the same. You know, I think the feminine wants the masculine to want her the way she wants him emotionally. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, there's some conversation that happens here with these cards where it's like, oh, and I don't know if it's come right out and said like that, or if it's sort of like, this is where you were the whole time. Oh, this is where I was the whole time. And then it's like, in retrospect, it all sort of makes sense. It all sort of falls into line. And on top of it, what falls really into line is the fact that our spot on the horizon that we're both calling our ultimate ideal happiness is the same. So on the bottom of the deck, you have, we will make this right one day, baby. So it's coming together. It's coming together. It's coming together. I can just feel it's coming together. All right. So hopefully that, you know, I always say, hopefully this makes sense. I really appreciate it when you guys say, you make sense. Like, I got it. I'm like, okay, great. Because, you know, it isn't easy. All right, here we go. For Pisces Spirit, what do you have in the tarot for Pisces? I picked these cards because, well, for one thing, I really was feeling pink and purple. But for another thing, they had keys on the back of them. And that just felt really important to me. So I don't know. We have had a lot of key symbology in our reads lately. It does remind me of the Hierophant. Okay. So we have the Chariot on the bottom of the deck. We have the Three of Wands. Okay. For some reason, you guys, I am super drawn to, on the front of this Chariot, there's a horse and it has the symbols for Alpha and Omega in it. I don't know if like it's actually like Alpha and Omega that are important. Okay, Alpha and Omega, the beginning and end. In the New Testament book of Revelation, God says, I am Alpha and Omega, meaning that he is the beginning and the end of all things. In the Greek alphabet, Alpha is the first letter and Omega is the last. I'm somehow taking away from this masculine and feminine energy, but the divine, okay, I don't know. Take it as you will. All right. So, but what I'm getting here is that there is this energy of like near rejection here with the Four of Cups. It could have actually been rejection, but you know, he's just not taking it. It's not that he's saying, get out of my face, get away from me, and turning his back on the cup. He's just not taking it. That feels significant to me here today. And so it's kind of, and it's also like the divine is holding it right in front of his face. The divine is like, here is what you asked for. And either he's not recognizing it or he's just missing it altogether. But, you know, or he's so focused on other things that he's not reaching out and grabbing it or prioritizing it or, you know, taking it. He's kind of like, well, I already have these 3 cups I'm focused on. I can't add a 4th cup right now. That, like, in other words, the masculine may have said, like, I'm too busy or I have too many things going on, or may have even made the feminine feel like they just weren't a priority, or like, I have no choice, but I have to focus on these things that I've already somehow committed to, or they're taking up so much space for me, or it may not. I keep getting this energy of like, it's not even spoken, it's just obvious. You know, people reveal their priorities and how they're feeling about things through their actions. Sometimes that's accurate, sometimes it's not. Sometimes people's actions are misaligned with how they actually really feel. But it's almost as if this masculine is sort of asleep or just unobservant or just not seeing something. And then it's like, I feel there's some kind of conversation or something that happens, or the feminine may pull away, and it makes the masculine go, oh, whoa, wait a minute. I liked the presence of that cup in my life. But they weren't taking it. They weren't doing anything with it. They weren't adding it to the buckets that they were paying into, maybe necessarily. In some way, they obviously were to keep it there, but like with the Knight of Pentacles, this person may have been taking small, slow, steady steps. Like they may have been, you know, like, hey, what are you doing? You want to hang out? Hey, you want to come over and watch a movie? Hey, you wanted this, you wanted that, which I guess those little steps do add up. I mean, that's what we always talk about with the Knight of Pentacles, how the little steps do add up. And maybe he thought that those little steps were kind of enough and that like he didn't have to like make a formal offer or, you know, commit in some way or like reach out and grab the cup. Like the fact that he was like allowing the cup to be in his life and was like kind of keeping it around, maybe that was supposed to be the, you know, that's not enough for you, I don't get it, you know. But I think it ended up kind of making the feminine feel maybe a little bit rejected or a little bit unimportant, when in reality, it's like the masculine was seeing their life, their future with this feminine the whole time. This is what I've been getting since the beginning of this reading. It's like, it's almost as if this masculine recognized right away that this is someone they want to spend the rest of their life with on some level, like some subconscious level or some fantasy level. But it's like they were sort of set in their ways, or they were sort of kind of, I don't know, maybe they wanted to, maybe they told themselves they were staying single, or maybe they had been through a lot and they just didn't want to put their heart on the line or whatever. But I think they thought that they could just sort of keep the feminine there by you know, doing this Knight of Pentacles dance thing. And I think with the Three of Wands, whatever was said, whatever distance was put there between the masculine and the feminine, this masculine is kind of looking at it now, and he's looking over it, and he's realizing that he has to have a plan, he has to have a strategy, he has to even potentially look at what he really wants with those wands and these cups. Like there's 3 cups, there's 3 wands. It's kind of like, you know, if I only have space for 3 things in my life and I want to keep the feminine, then I have to trade in one of these cups to put that one in its place. And so they may be actually looking at that. They may be distancing themselves from something else. There is also an energy with the Three of Wands of waiting for the right time. But this is a masculine who, it feels like they just were not with it. And now they're with it, and now they're looking at it, now they're planning, now they're thinking, now they're observing, you know. It's like, but it required almost that distance for them to kind of wake up. With the Chariot energy here, it's kind of like we have that eternal love, we have that Alpha and Omega, like it kind of never, everything beginning and ending in the same point, which is like kind of eternal, right? And it's very soulmate-y. I do not know. This is like a deep soul connection I've been reading for the past few days, or I don't know how long, but it's like, I mean, no beginning, no end kind of situation here with these people. Yeah, this masculine, I feel like they're realizing the depth of their feelings for the feminine. Yeah. And with the Page of Swords and the Three of Wands, it's like there's almost this energy of kind of, you know, I always say like the Page of Swords is at an arm's length distance. They're not actually gone. They're not, you know, they're not actually walking away. They are still completely focused on the thing, and they're observing and they're learning, and they're, you know, could be having a lot of like aha moments or little moments of recognition of like, oh, that's how that made her feel. Oh, that's how that came across. Oh, this is what she was offering me. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, especially with the King of Cups, when he realizes that he already has these deep feelings, and it's kind of realizing too that he has these deep feelings in part because the feminine was so, it's like generous with this non-judgment. It's like when you look back and you realize that you were on two different pages, and the page you were on was completely superficial and the page that the other person was on was like super deep, and that they saw your superficiality, or they saw that energy in you, and they still could see the best in you, or they still looked beyond that to see so much more in you, and that's what they were seeing the whole time, instead of what you were actually giving them in this attempt to impress them. This is, I keep saying masculine and feminine, but this is some Piscean men right here that I'm talking to. Maybe like in your feminine energy, like it may be a woman that feels like she has to play a lot of games in order to keep a man on the hook, and this man is like just trying to show up for her, steady, solid, stable. I've done the work, I'm healed, like I can have emotions for you and still show up for you, deep kind of stuff, and they're getting this like game in return. So just know that this can go both ways, even though I'm saying it one way. I'm definitely tapping in strongly here to masculine Piscean energy as well. Not just feminine Piscean energy, not limited to. But it's like when you start actually looking back on the things you said, the things you did, the actions that you took, the things that you didn't say, the things that you didn't do, and you're going, whoa, you know, and you're recognizing the meaning that was happening for someone else, and you're like, whoa. It's like it's sort of pushing someone's timeline. I don't know how to describe it, but this experience of being on the receiving end of it, it's like forcing this person to close a cycle. They were ready to close it, but they were kind of messing around with it. They were kind of, it was easier. It was like they kind of knew, but you know, nothing was really forcing them to do it, and it was, you know, it was the path well traveled, you know, and they were used to it and they were doing it, and you know, it wasn't giving them the results they wanted, but at the same time, it's like what everybody else was doing, and it was, you know, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like they're waking up to something so much deeper, and they're realizing with this Knight of Cups Chariot energy, it's like they are realizing how fortunate they were in this world full of disappointment and rejection, and you know, people very quick to point out our flaws and to walk away and blame it on us and shame us and guilt us and whatever us. How lucky they were that they found someone that was willing to like stay side by side with them through this space of blindness, you know, or misalignment within themselves, and that they're, how fortunate they are to now be aligned within themselves. And it's like wild horses cannot drag this person away. You have the Knight of Cups and the Chariot, you know. This is someone who's probably coming forward to express something out of this cup. It says all you need is love. And so it's like this person, you know, when I was looking at this priorities shift about what is really important, it's like this person, I think they're putting their priority on love. And I think they're coming forward to say like how lucky they are to have found someone who shares their same vision, who's automatically and always was moving in the same direction, whose path they would have met up with eventually, but how lucky they are that they met up with them sooner, and that it whipped them into shape and pulled them into this energy of being okay with their heart space and expressing themselves, and realizing that in the end, the greatest of all things is love. Wow. Okay, I'm getting here, don't put a lot of expectations or whatever on Valentine's Day, but because sometimes it's just energy that's breaking free, and the energy always comes, oh my goodness, the energy always comes in before the physical manifestation comes in. So just like, let's keep this in mind. Yeah. See, this masculine wanted this feminine to want them the way that they wanted them. You know what I'm saying? And I think, you know, they were super there's a heavy physical attraction here, but the physical attraction is actually like, I'm getting even, it is a physical attraction, but it is like, I am attracted to who you are on the inside, and who you are on the inside even makes your physical self even more attractive. And so there's this energy, though, of kind of fumbling the ball with the Two of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands, when you are standing in front of everything that you have ever wanted, and you are feeling so magnetized to it and so pulled to it. And then you stand there and go, I don't know what to do. Should I choose love or should I choose fear? And it's staring you right in the face. You know, there's this energy of like, the Queen of Wands is like, well, listen, honey, I'm not going to chase you. Like, I know what I want, and I sit here and I wait for you to be ready. I'm not waiting for you to be ready. Let me correct that. But like, I am constantly magnetizing what I want to myself, and I am magnetizing a soulmate who can show up for me. And I don't call the Two of Pentacles and the Two of Swords showing up for me. And so I'm going to sit here knowing what I want in my full awesomeness and attractiveness. And, you know, whatever happens, happens. But I'm not going to force you to choose love. I'm not going to chase you and say, hey, wait, don't you see the potential of what we have here? I want someone who's showing up knowing it. And so if you're not that, then guess what? I'm going to focus on other things while you figure it out. You got the Hierophant with the Ace of Pentacles. Hello, honey. They come screeching right back in, because this is an energy of like deep soul level, like I'm committed to you. And I am offering you everything that I have to offer, like the very best thing that I have to offer you. I'm offering you something solid. I'm offering you something stable. I'm like, this is the best that I have. I can't give you more than that. With the Hierophant, it is a spiritual love. It is a, wow, yeah, see, there's some kind of conversation that happens. And yeah, like, I don't want you to walk away. I don't want you to get away from me. I'm going to show up in my divine masculine form. I got this. Yep, I heard you loud and clear. There's a clarity that comes with that Ace of Swords. There's like no holding back here a little bit. I mean, there may have been holding back in the conversation, but enough was said for the clarity to be able to come through loud and clear. And it is like, I'm getting, even with the energy of the rainbow, of that same best friend that I was telling you, who happens to be a Pisces, right? I actually drove through the end of a rainbow with him one time. And I don't know if you guys have ever walked through the end of a rainbow or driven through the end of the rainbow, but it is one of the coolest things that I have ever done in my entire life. Every color of the rainbow, it's like you drive through red and you can see the whole rest of the rainbow, but then red disappears and you're in orange, and then orange disappears and you're in yellow, and then yellow disappears and you're in green, and then green disappears and you're in blue, and then blue disappears and you're in purple. And you look behind you and there's absolutely fucking no clue that you drove through a rainbow. You can't even see the rainbow. It's like, oh, it is like, I can't even, it's one of the best experiences ever. I mean, and I doubt, I mean, hopefully maybe someday I will have another opportunity to experience that. I would love to. And I'm totally open to receiving all forms of abundance. And that definitely is a form of abundance. There was no pot of gold, but it like, yes, there was a pot of gold, because yes, yes, you can hear it in my voice when I'm talking about it, I'm sure. Anyway, that's exactly how I'm seeing this. It's like this person gave you this like red hot, passionate sort of energy. And then it's like it gave way to this like other energy and this other energy and this other energy and this other energy. And, you know, the rainbow is this symbolic also of our chakra system. Like, guys, oh my God, so many things are hitting me right here, and I couldn't possibly explain them. We'd be here for a week, but like the analogy between these things is like crazy, actually. But anyway, what I'm telling you is there's some kind of reveal like this that's happening for this masculine where it's exactly the same. It's like, you know, oh, I was over here trying to get them to be attracted to me. And here they were opening up to me. They were trying to build trust with me so that like we could have something emotionally, so that we could take this to a deeper place, so that we could, you see what I'm saying? And then it's like when you turn around and you look at a rainbow, it's gone. It doesn't even exist. And this person is facing that. This person had this thought. They had this imagination of, or this vision of this happening. Like, whoa, I could lose this person. And that has made them fly right. That has made them realize what they had to do. And, you know, I'm not saying give someone an ultimatum. I'm not saying you have to walk away in order for someone to love you. I'm not saying any of those things, but this is just the experience that I'm feeling right here with these cards and with the Emperor right here. This image right here is like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. I'll step into my divinity before I'll let you walk away. Maybe in areas of significance for some of you. Taurus. You also have, well, you have the water signs with the King of Cups. Let's see what we have here. Oof, with the Devil. Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh my Lord. Look at what this person was going through. Holy moly. I told ya. I don't even know. There's so many cards here. Okay, so I'm gonna drink my tea. I have the hiccups. This masculine, it's like they either went through some kind of really difficult ending. You know, this Ten of Swords energy keeps coming up in your readings, especially I feel like in regards to the masculine energy. Although if I know a Pisces, I know they've been through the Ten of Swords, you know. But the thing about this was something that they actually like never wanted to experience again, to such a degree that they actually sort of were blocking their energy. And, you know, this, you know, if I'm looking at this, right, the way that I normally look at tarot, and I'm looking at 7, the 7th chakra is our crown chakra, and with the swords, this is our thinking. And so it's sort of blocking this crown chakra energy and dropping into or relying too heavily on our thinking mind. And this energy keeps sort of coming out for you in various ways in your readings. So I do feel like there is, for a lot of you, this is kind of what you've been battling against, or what you've been up against, is that you're kind of dealing with someone who has been through a difficult ending and therefore doesn't really want to exist through their heart space anymore, or through even their higher self. It's kind of like, it's almost as if they feel they were led astray by their higher self, but chances are they ignored their higher self instead of listening to their higher self. But this construct that this person constructed within themselves, this barrier against being free to open up to even sort of create the life of their dreams with the divine, it had to come crashing down. And there was like no other way. They may have had other opportunities to kind of let it go more gently or more peacefully. But with the Ten of Swords, this is a cycle that is complete. Like there's nothing else we can get from it. So leaving this protection in place and blocking our connection with the divine, it's not serving our higher and best purpose. You know, maybe we needed that in order to recover, in order to feel safe, in order to feel more in control of our life, in order to feel like there was some reason and that I could protect myself, like it won't happen to me. You know, like a lot of times when people see something bad happen to someone, they're like, oh, well, they were walking in a dark alleyway by themselves. Of course that happened to them. I don't do stupid stuff like that. That's not going to happen to me. Well, let me tell you, it can happen in a park in broad daylight, too. You know what I mean? So like we have this cognitive dissonance where we separate ourselves from everyone else in order to give ourselves the thought that we're going to be safe. And that is a bunch of bullshit. It just is not true. And it feels as though that's what this masculine was sort of doing. Well, I know how to protect myself from never getting hurt. And it's almost as if this feminine part of the soul contract may have even been, you know, because this masculine is realizing if this feminine walks away, there may be other people that come into my life that I'm like, oh, they're attractive. Okay, you know, I'll physically connect with this person, but I'll never feel the way that I felt for this feminine again. Like there's no one else, you know what I mean? And there's also the recognition that I already have these deep feelings. Like if the feminine walks away, I can't avoid the heartbreak. I won't be able to avoid the suffering. And so because I'm too far in, I'm too far deep in the situation. So there's this energy of, with the devil on the bottom of the deck and the hermit underneath it, there's kind of this energy of, I just heard the devil you know versus the devil you don't know. I don't know what that really, I don't know why that's coming through, but anyway, maybe it's something for someone. There's this energy of I almost feel like this masculine is really feeling like they may have waited too long to make some kind of offer here or to learn a lesson. And that they may have been too busy sort of planning or too busy sort of allowing themselves to like sort of tend to the things in their life that already existed instead of really waking up and asking themselves, what do I really want? Like, where am I really going? You know, do my actions reflect what it is I really want? Or am I just sort of, I don't know how else to say it, but being very immature with the Page of Swords and the Page of Cups. That's a very immature energy. It's like, I like you, but I don't want to tell you. And I can't take my eyes off you, but I don't want you to know that I like you that much. So I'm going to stand over here and kind of hide behind the corner and watch you. Or I'm going to like ask to follow you on instant media, social media, instant media. I don't know what that is. And then I'm going to obsess over your page and try to learn everything I can from you, but I'm not going to have the actual conversation with you. And then there's this third page, the Page of Pentacles, and it's like with the Seven of Pentacles covering it, it's kind of like, and I'm going to wait forever to actually take action or to actually ask you out or to actually give you an offer. And I may even come across like someone who's really just looking for a good time. Wow. But that's because I'm stuck. I feel like anyone but a Pisces would have kicked this person to the curb. Because the Pisces was seeing the highest and best self. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. See, that Hermit was underneath the Devil, and now you got the Hermit on the bottom of the deck. This person needed a minute to reevaluate, to think about what it is that they actually really want. Virgo energy, Capricorn energy, Scorpio energy. You've gotten Cancer energy too. I don't know why I'm saying all these things, but there's just this energy where the thoughts that this person was having, or, you know, it's like, you see how she has turned and she is like walking away, and he's like, I'm doing such a good job. Look at me getting all these swords, and I have all these swords to fight with. And like, maybe, you know, what I said sounded really good, or like there's some level of satisfaction that this masculine has until this recognition that he's like, wait, you're walking away? Wait, you're just going to put your swords down and walk away? Wait, you're not going to keep talking about this? Wait, you know, you're going to turn your back on me? It's this realization that leads to this tower energy where it all comes crashing down of like, I'm going to lose this feminine unless I release this way of dealing with things, this approach to things that I've taken since I had this bad ending. And with the feminine's like, I know my worth, I know my value, I'm not chasing. You know, I see the potential of everything that can be revealed. And wow, you know what I just got here? The feminine may be intentionally not revealing things about herself to the masculine. She may be very choosy about what she reveals to the masculine energy, like realizing that he isn't fully where she's at yet. Or like he can't fully show up. Like she's seeing all this page energy. She's like, all right, I'll let you be a page, but like, hey, let's try to mature into like a knight and then a queen and then a king. How about that? And as you do that, it's almost like I feel, and this, you know, take it as you want to take it. If you want to be offended by it, fine. But it feels like a reward system. Like when you show up for me, when you recognize my value, my worth, and you treat me as such, then I reveal something to you. It's like that is how I'm getting it. And it's like that so many things are becoming clear to this masculine in this time by themselves. Not just that they want to be with the Queen of Cups, but also, and not just that the Queen of Cups is their wish fulfillment, and that this shared point on the horizon is that not just their dream, not just their wish fulfillment, but also the feminine's wish fulfillment. But they're also seeing how far they have to go. The Hermit is like the masculine high priestess, right? And it's just, it's like all of a sudden this was illuminated for him that like, hey bud, you know how you thought you were doing really good over here? You got some steps to take. You know, you got some stuff to do. And so I think the masculine is kind of going, oh, okay, you know what? Now that I see the steps in front of me, let me just go ahead and take those. Let me go ahead and meet this Queen of Cups where she's at, kind of energy. Wow, it's interesting. This chunk came out and then the Lovers was on the bottom of the deck. Well, I didn't know the Lovers was on the bottom of the deck, but I got just take this, and then the Lovers is here on the bottom of the deck, and I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. All right. Yeah, you know, again, you know, I feel like the feminine, okay, I feel like the feminine knows that they do share the same vision, or that, you know, yeah, I kind of do. All right, I'm going to say this like this. Because for some of you, you're putting up a boundary and this person is like, oh, okay, you're putting up a boundary. I'm going in a different direction. I'm going to go find someone who's not going to put up a boundary with me. And I just want to tell you, the answer to that is probably good riddance. Because like I said in the beginning, when you put up a boundary with someone and they can't handle it, they don't like it, they don't know how to respect it, they don't know how to like even appreciate it, and what it means that you're healthy and that you protect yourself and that, you know, you value yourself and you love yourself, you know, they are probably somewhat toxic. They probably are going to leave eventually regardless. So it's kind of like good riddance. I literally, I'm hearing, isn't that Green Day? I hope you have the time of your life. Good riddance? I don't know. What the heck? Anyway, I don't know. So, you have the Four of Wands with the Queen of Cups here. You know what I'm also seeing? Did you guys ever play Foursquare? I don't know. I grew up in the Midwest and we played Foursquare at recess, and it was like 4 painted squares on the sidewalk, and we had these like playground balls that were like red, and there was like a server, and then we could play doubles and we'd be on a team, and if it bounced in your square and went out, I think then the other person got a point, or it was, yeah, like I can't totally remember it. Well, I'm totally seeing that right here, and I've not thought about that in like, I don't know, 40 years. So I'm just thinking about, it may be that the ball is you're putting the ball in someone else's court possibly, or something like that, and it's kind of like if they don't respond correctly, or if they don't react to it, or if something like that, then it's like you're okay to say, okay, I win regardless, because I win, you pass the ball back to me and we continue to do this, or I win, I know that you're not capable of passing the ball back to me. Okay? I don't know. It's a very strong thing where it's like there is this moment of recognition, what this is or what this is not. And I'm getting that it is to be grateful for either way, strongly grateful for either way. Because you got to know your worth, you got to know your value. What you have to offer is so special. It almost feels to me as though what you're manifesting is coming in. And if it's not this, then you want it out of your space so that what you have been manifesting can come in. It's like it can't come in until there's space for it. And especially with that 9 of Wands, it's like, that's a guarded energy, and it can cause flow to cease. It's also very much giving me someone that can't let you go, and so they respect and observe your boundary, and they figure out what you need and want, and are able to join you there and give it to you. They're able to heal themselves and overcome this wounded warrior energy and show up for you. So it's not just, but your flow is blocked by having someone in your life. And either you want that, you want to know, you need to know, is that someone the someone that where my path meets with their path and it's bliss, or is that not the person, and then they go their way and I go my way, and then my path meets up with my person. You see what I'm saying? It's a gift either way. Literally, I'm getting that. It's a gift either way. You definitely have a soulmate. You've got to free yourself from some way of thinking that you don't, and you have to empower yourself, and you have to be looking for this person. You have to be, this is giving me like, I expect to meet my soulmate any minute. It's a beautiful day. Is this the day I'm going to meet my person? I just keep getting that type of energy. So you've got, it's like freeing yourself up, not getting too attached to the idea that it is one person. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna leave that there. All right, and let's get some message cards. Woo, okay. For Pisces dealing with the water sign. For Pisces dealing with the water sign. All right, if you're dealing with a water sign, I don't care what people think anymore. Our eye contact is insane. Be patient with me, please. Angry. Cold. You are the only one who truly gets me. Guys. I feel like that is so in resonance with the reading. If you're dealing with a fire sign, you're getting, my karmic story is ending. For me, this is like they're closing out a chapter in their life where maybe they dealt with karmics, or maybe they were learning a lot of lessons. I've been having weird dreams about us. Passion, whoa, trust me. It's hard for me to explain things. I heard, look at the bottom of the deck, just plain as day. What we have is soul recognition. Guys, soul recognition is coming out left and right. It's oozing from Pisces energy right now. All right. If you're dealing with an earth sign, you deserve more. You are the one. I want to talk to you. I regret how I handled things before. Your words speak to me like no others can. And if you are dealing with an air sign, stuck, I miss you more than you know. You are hard to forget. I thought about reaching out, but I don't know what to say. And good intentions. Just because someone has good intentions, that does not mean that they are capable of showing up. Okay, guys, this was a look at Valentine's Day, a day in advance. I'm actually celebrating Valentine's Day today instead of tomorrow. And so, you know, I'm going all in on the 13th. But yes, I really hope that this reading resonated and that there were things in here that, you know, brought you some peace and brought you some clarity. And I thank you once again for joining me here in this space. And I wish you guys all the very best. Always, always, always. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.